People will not understand when you will go all in on your dreams, and they don't need to. Because the people right now that you are scared of, the people that you feel like their opinion matters, these people have not done what you're about to do, what you're about to create. They will not understand you, your dreams, your visions, the dreams that you're having in your mind, the goals that you receive, the ideas that are coming to you. They're not here by accident. They're literally placed within your body for a reason. Neville Goddard talked about this concept before. If you can't even imagine what it is that you want, it is not meant for you. That means the very fact that it lives in your mind, that it lives in your body, this idea, this concept, the creation, it is meant for you. It's not by accident. Right now, it does not live in reality yet, the thing that you're creating, unless you've already created that. But it doesn't live in the physical form yet because it needs to be created from within you. If you're stopping yourself right now to create the very thing that you want because you're scared of what the neighbor might think, or what that random person on the internet with no profile picture might think, or even what your mother might think, because what if you create a business that is based on stories that involve your mother, stories that involve your past, stories that involve parts of you that maybe you've never talked about really before. And I've also just realized, I do apologize if you see any hair, dog hair on my top, it's because I have a dog and I like to cuddle my dog a lot. There's always going to be dog hair on my clothes. In case you are noticing it, and you might not even notice it, but doesn't matter. The concept of caring too much about what other people think also is connected to the shadow. The shadow is all the parts within you that you have learned are wrong, are not accepted within you. All the parts that you have been rejecting within you because at some point in your life, especially in your early childhood, you were told that these parts of you are wrong. These parts of you are not meant to be seen, are not meant to be seen by a lot of people or heard by a lot of people or heard or seen at all because they're not making you lovable, they're not making you be seen as a good girl. And the good girl is a concept connected to shadow work, which speaks about as a woman, and this also applies to men, so it's not just a female thing, but it's truly for every human being. We've learned if we're the good girl, if we're the good boy, that we will be loved and accepted and seen by society, by the people in our life. And that is not our fault that we want that. It is in our human nature. No one wants to be rejected. No one wants to not be seen or heard or loved. We all want that. In our human nature, it is normal to do the very thing that makes us seen, loved, accepted by the world. But when we early on learn that these certain parts are wrong about us, we tend to reject them. We tend to suppress them. We tend to put them away. But the thing is that these parts still live within us. They are still part of who we are. We are not allowing ourselves right now to express these parts because we have learned that they're wrong. Now, what are these parts? I want to bring in the concept of the forbidden feminine here, the concept that a lot of women have wounds around. This idea that you can't be sexy, you can't be dressing a certain way, you can't be loud, you can't be angry, you can't put yourself first. You have to put other people first because that's your job. You want to make sure you care about others more than you care about yourself. And all these concepts that we have learned early on as women, early on as kids, we are still carrying with us. The way that I describe the shadow is like this black bag that you're carrying with you, and you're putting all these parts of yourself in that black bag that are not accepted, that are not seen. And some of these parts right now, they want to be seen and accepted by you. And as much as it's called the shadow and the dark parts of yourself, they're not wrong. You've learned that they are. Even if we were to take the word selfish, when I first started exploring my own shadow, selfish was something that would come up quite a lot. And it's something that I thought was wrong. And I had to go back in time and I would ask myself, well, actually being selfish is not wrong because I know that I can't give back to others if I don't give back to myself first. So I know that when I'm selfish, it is also better for everyone else around me because when I fill up my cup, I can fill up other people's cups, but still I would get triggered if someone else would be selfish. I would get triggered by the word selfish itself. I traveled back in time and I realized that it wasn't even the word. It was the idea that I learned about within my parents. My mom would always call my dad selfish. And so I learned selfish is wrong because my mom would always be upset with my dad and she would hate it that he would be selfish. And so early on, as a child, I heard that, I saw that, and I took it on as my truth. I took it on as selfish being a bad thing. I took it on as selfish not being accepted, and putting other people first is what's going to give you that love and affection. We do this. We've done this for ever. Now, what happens when we allow ourselves to keep these parts suppressed, we are suppressing our authentic self here. We are suppressing who we're truly meant to be in this world. We're suppressing our sensuality, our sexuality as women. We're suppressing all these parts of us that we are. And when that happens, what we're actually suppressing is the fullest expression of who we are meant to be here on this planet Earth, and the fullest expression of the creation of our businesses, of our lives, of our relationships. And so when you are scared that people will misunderstand you, when you go all in on your dreams and you allow these parts you've been suppressing to come to the forefront, it is a very normal human reaction because you've learned that these parts are wrong, that these parts that right now you've been hiding are wrong. So it's normal that when we bring them to the surface, when we allow ourselves to share them with the world, we will feel scared because we don't know yet what the people in our life will do. But on the other hand, what we got to understand is that as much as we want to be loved and accepted and seen by everyone, living a life that is not yours is what happens when you ignore these parts of yourself that want to be seen and heard. You will one day wake up, and maybe this has already happens to you, and you're wondering, whose life am I actually living? Am I living my own? Am I living the creation of my truest and deepest desires? Am I doing what I actually want to do? Or am I living a life based on someone else's idea of how my life is supposed to look like? Because when that clicks within you and when you realize, I'm right now trying to impress someone who will never understand what's going on within me, who will never understand my gifts, and who's actually not even meant to understand my gifts, you free yourself from the expectation that you think people have of you. People only project their own judgment towards you because they're judging themselves. And so when someone in your life right now is not understanding of the life that you want to create, the business that you want to create, it is because they're actually rejecting their own dreams, their own desires. And so even more, it is your duty to do the very thing you want to do, because by you doing that, you not only heal yourself, but you heal the world. The best thing you can do for the world is to pursue your dreams, to go out and create and achieve anything that you desire, not for them, but for you. Because what this does is it will heal the world in showing the world that this is what life is about. Life is not about us staying in a system just because everyone else is doing that. Life is about realizing that we are here to live life to our fullest expression. That brings me to my next point here, and something that I've recently heard from a friend of mine, and I wanted to bring it back to this channel. Oftentimes, we're judging ourselves for these deep desires that we actually have. And when I say deep desires, when I ask people on the street or my clients or anyone, I'm like, what is your biggest dream? Those dreams always kind of sound the same. It's like, oh, I want to have a successful business that inspires hundreds of people. Or I want to have freedom to live the life that I desire. But can you be more specific? Like, what does that freedom exactly look like for you? What does that business exactly look like for you? I had this conversation with a client and she said to me, you know, I have this dream of building this business, da 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 da. I'm like, I was sensing, because I tend to be very intuitive and very in tune with my clients' feelings and emotions. I can feel them and I can sense when something is not the complete truth. And I'm like, there's more. Tell me, like, what is it? If there's no judgment right now, like, what is your deepest, truest desire? Like, why are you here? What do you truly want? And she said, okay, Jess, I've never said it out loud, but I actually want to be famous. But she hasn't said it out loud because she was judging herself for wanting to be famous. Why was she judging herself? She was judging herself because society judges people who want to be famous, or the people people in her life judged her for wanting to be famous. And so what are the dreams that you have? Those deep desires that you truly want, but you're judging yourself for your dreams, so you're rejecting them. And so you're pushing them to the side, believing, oh, I know I have to follow this dream because this is what's acceptable. Your dream could be sitting on rooftops every single day, sipping on a glass of wine and being a millionaire. And that's your truest and deepest desire. And if that is what you truly want, why not create that? Why not attract that? Because we think it's wrong, because we judge ourselves for those desires. And that's where we feel misunderstood by people, because we want them to understand these desires, but ultimately we're not even saying them out loud because we know people will not understand. But people will only understand when you pursue and follow and create and live that life that you want. But for as long as you're judging yourself for your dreams, for as long as you're wondering what everyone else is going to think if you go all in and you buy yourself your dream car, or you live in your dream city, or you decide to break up in that relationship that everyone tells you is perfect, as long as you don't do the thing right now that your heart is calling you to do, you're going to continue living a life for people, not for you. When it comes to stepping out of the norm, you got to learn that it's okay to be misunderstood. You got to learn that that is what makes you you. That unique part of you that makes things differently, that does these things differently, that shows up differently, that wants a different life, is what makes you you. But most people are scared to go there. You're here because you know you're meant to play it bigger, but you're still listening to the people that are scared to pursue their own dreams, and you're believing that their truth is your truth. But is it really? Or is this just a sign that you're not meant to listen to them, you're meant to listen to you? You're meant to realize that this life has nothing to do with them, but everything to do with you. And allowing these parts you've been suppressing to finally come to the forefront and see them and accept them and make them as who you are, make them as actually the unique person that you're meant to be here. The fullest expression. Like, what would the fullest expression of you do today? How would she show up? How would she create her business? How would she go out and talk to people? What would she do? That fullest expression of you, she's already within you. It's not about seeking things outside of you and looking for her. It's about realizing she's already within you. She lives within you, and she wants to be lived through you. When you realize that these things you've been putting on yourself, those restrictions that you've been putting on yourself, are self-made. And of course, I could go into subconscious beliefs and all these things, and they're real, but also about realizing that this process of uncovering the parts of yourself you've been suppressing is already part of the healing. But you also got to be willing to take the action. Don't just look at the parts of you that are the way that they are because of your past. That's what's keeping you stuck. You're meant to heal and transmute it immediately and alchemize it into something more powerful. And so who cares if when you go all in on your gifts, people will not understand, because they're not meant to, because the right people will. But right now, you're not attracting the right people because you're not your fullest expression of yourself. And so you're attracting people that show you parts of you that maybe you haven't yet seen, or that you need to bring to the forefront. So ultimately, I invite you to ask yourself, where are you holding yourself back because you're scared you're going to be misunderstood? What if you could be the fullest expression of yourself and still believe that the right people will stay, that the right people will come into your life, and that it is in your hands to heal the world by healing yourself and going all in on the life that you desire? That's what's going to change the world. It's not by staying small. It's not by keeping your light smaller and dimming your light. It's not by not speaking up. It's actually the complete opposite. And we've been told a lie. Keep yourself small. People please. Put everyone else first. That's how you create peace. That's how you help people. Absolutely not. You help people by being the fullest expression of you. And how that looks like, only you know. But that is a sign for you to go all in on the thing that you want to create, on your business, on your life, on moving to another country. Because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, why did I care so much about what my neighbor is going to say? So yeah, I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please let me know. I also realized I didn't even introduce myself in this video because it just all came through, and I wanted to share it right now. I feel very inspired to make this video. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you so much love. And until the next time, bye-bye.